It is a packed day at the NATO summit, which is currently underway in Turkey. The US president, in fact, has made a series of scathing remarks targeting different countries and different points of contention coming to the fore. In the latest, Donald Trump has launched a scathing attack on Iran hours after the US military carried out strikes across several cities in Iran. Responding to a question on whether the MOU and the ceasefire is dead, Trump said that from his side it is. Listen in.
Is the ceasefire done? Is the MOU dead?
It's a very interesting question. To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people.
Other issues that Donald Trump has stressed upon: the claim that the US has been unfairly treated by its NATO allies. To the American president's long-drawn concern, NATO chief highlighting the bloc's actions to increase defense spending with more involvement from other member countries.
So there is complete commitment to NATO, but hey, there's also an expectation. And the expectation was and is that the Europeans and the Canadians will equalize their spending with the United States, which I think, and many of the colleagues in the room today think, is completely fair. Now,
in another statement, Trump has threatened to cut trade ties with Spain. This comes amid the escalating tensions with Madrid over its defense spending commitments and its refusal to support Washington's position during the Iran war. The dispute has deepened a diplomatic rift between the two allies, with Trump accusing Spain of not doing enough on security issues.
I didn't speak to Spain. Spain is a wasted cause. We don't want to do any trade business with Spain anymore, by the way. I'd like you to cut it off. Spain is a terrible partner in NATO. They don't participate. They don't pay. I don't want anything to do with Spain. Cut off all trade with Spain, please, including visits. Okay, we don't want anything to do. Watch them come running back. Oh.
And once again, Trump revived the Greenland territorial ambition. The American leader pushed for US control and said that the territory should not remain under Denmark's authority. Hitting back at Trump's remarks, Denmark's Prime Minister said that Greenland was not for sale. She urged all allies to respect the people's right to self-determination and Denmark's territorial integrity and sovereignty. Leaders of 23 member states are in Turkey, not just for the summit, but the Defense Industry Forum being held alongside the main event. Inter-alliance budget sharing in defense remains a sticking point, not just for Washington, but also for European counterparts who are being pushed to commit a significant part of their country's GDP to NATO's budget. How much of that pledge is realized by the end of this summit is the big question.
This summit was all about deliverables and showing that the commitment seen last year in The Hague, Netherlands, the last time that NATO leaders had gathered all in one place, to turn those commitments from that summit of annual defence spending from 2% to 5% come the year 2035 into tangible action. In other words, we've seen this huge pool of cash committed by a number of NATO allies over the past 12 months, but turning that into tangible hardware. We've heard from NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. He says that you can't defend the alliance with lira, or with dollars, with euros. Instead, you need hard capability. So that was what this summit was all about, convincing the Trump administration that yes, its other 31 and NATO allies are taking defense seriously, but based on President Trump's comments, they seem to have fallen on some deaf ears.